The city lights twinkled like scattered diamonds below me, a familiar sight from my penthouse apartment. For years, these lights had been my only companions, a silent testament to the empire I'd built. But even with all the wealth and success, there was an emptiness, a dull ache that never truly subsided. It was the ache of a mother who had lost her child. My name is Eleanor Vance, and I am a billionaire. But before the board meetings and the private jets, I was just a young woman, fresh out of college, full of dreams and a secret that weighed heavily on my heart. I was pregnant. The father was a charming, ambitious man who, upon learning of my condition, vanished without a trace. Young and scared, I made a choice, one that has haunted me every single day since. I gave my daughter up for adoption. It was supposed to be temporary, just until I could get on my feet, build a stable life. I promised myself I'd come back for her. I even left a small, silver locket with the adoption agency, a tiny, intricate design of a mother bird protecting her nest, with the instruction that it be given to her when she was old enough. It was a symbol of my love, a promise I intended to keep. But life, as it often does, had other plans. My career took off with a ferocity I hadn't anticipated. The small startup I founded blossomed into a multinational corporation. The demands were relentless, and soon years had passed. Every time I thought of searching for her, fear would grip me. What if she hated me? What if she had a wonderful life without me and my sudden appearance would only disrupt it? So, I procrastinated, my guilt growing with each passing year, a constant shadow in my opulent life. Then came the dreams. Vivid, insistent dreams of a young woman with eyes that mirrored my own, eyes filled with a longing I understood all too well. It was a sign, I knew it. A sign that I couldn't wait any longer. I hired the best private investigators, giving them every detail I could remember, every scrap of information from that painful time. The search began, a desperate hope blooming in my chest. Weeks turned into months. The investigators presented me with countless dead ends, women who looked similar, but weren't her. My hope began to wane, replaced by a familiar despair. Maybe it was too late. Maybe I had truly lost her forever. One rainy Tuesday, my assistant, Sarah, walked into my office, her face uncharacteristically pale. She held a file in her trembling hands. "Miss Vance," she began, her voice barely a whisper, we might have something." My heart leaped into my throat. I snatched the file, my hands shaking so much I almost dropped it. Inside was a single photograph. A young woman, perhaps in her early 20s, with long dark hair pulled back in a ponytail. She was wearing a simple uniform, a name tag pinned to her apron. Chloe, it read. She was a waitress. But it wasn't just her appearance that struck me. Around her neck, glinting faintly in the photo, was a silver locket. My locket. The mother bird protecting her nest. Tears welled in my eyes, blurring the image. It was her. It had to be. The address listed was for a small diner on the other side of the city. A place I would never, in a million years, have reason to visit. My driver, James, took me there, the ride feeling both impossibly long and far too short. My hands were clammy, my stomach a knot of nerves. What would I say? How would she react? Would she even remember the locket? The diner was bustling, filled with the clatter of plates and the murmur of conversation. I spotted her immediately. She was carrying a tray of food, her movements efficient and graceful, a small smile playing on her lips as she took an order. She was beautiful, vibrant, everything I had imagined and more. I took a seat in a quiet booth, trying to compose myself. My heart hammered against my ribs. When she finally approached my table, her smile was friendly, professional. "What can I get for you?" she asked, her voice soft but clear. I looked at her, truly looked at her. Her eyes. My eyes. The years of longing, of regret, of unspoken love, all surfaced at once. I felt a sob catch in my throat. She tilted her head, a flicker of concern in her gaze. "Are you all right, ma'am?" I reached up, my fingers trembling, and gently touched the locket around her neck. "This," I whispered, my voice thick with emotion, "this locket. Where did you get it?" Chloe's smile faltered. Her hand went to the pendant, a defensive gesture. "It was given to me by the adoption agency when I was little," she said, her brow furrowing. "Why do you ask?" The dam broke. Tears streamed down my face, hot and unstoppable. "Because," I choked out, "because I gave it to them. I gave it to them for you." Chloe's eyes widened, a mixture of shock and disbelief replacing the earlier concern. She stared at me, her gaze searching, as if trying to piece together a puzzle. The din of the diner faded into the background, leaving only the pounding of my heart and the ragged sound of my own breathing. You're my mother," she whispered, her voice barely audible. I nodded, unable to speak, my emotions overwhelming me. I reached across the table, my hand instinctively reaching for hers. For a moment, she hesitated, then her fingers intertwined with mine, warm and firm. "I've been looking for you," I managed to say, the words tumbling out. "For so long. Every day. I never stopped." A single tear tracked down her cheek, mirroring my own. "I always wondered," she confessed, her voice thick with emotion. "Always. My whole life." We sat there, holding hands, two strangers connected by a silver locket and a lifetime of yearning. The world outside the diner ceased to exist. In that moment, there was only us, a mother and her daughter, finally reunited. The ache in my heart began to mend, slowly, surely, replaced by a warmth I hadn't felt in decades. It wasn't just the city lights twinkling anymore, it was my world, finally illuminated.